I saw him crying alone in the back alley behind the hardware store, clutching nothing but a rusted wrench and a paper bag. I didn't know then that I was about to witness a miracle. Let me tell you about Liam Carter, a man many wouldn't even notice walking past. A worn-out baseball cap usually shaded his tired eyes, and the lines on his face told stories of long nights and silent battles. But beneath that rugged exterior was a heart fiercely devoted to two small children, Ben, age 6, and Rosie, barely 4. Liam wasn't just a single dad. He was their entire world. Liam used to be a skilled carpenter. Not famous, not rich, just good with his hands and better with his word. He had a small workshop on the edge of town and earned just enough to get by. His wife, Melissa, had passed away from cancer 2 years ago, and since then, life had never really smiled at him again. The illness had eaten through their savings like fire through dry leaves. By the time she was gone, Liam was left with debt, grief, and two confused, crying little ones who couldn't understand why Mommy won't wake up. Liam did his best. Each day began before sunrise, making pancakes shaped like animals to make his kids smile, getting them dressed, walking them to school, then heading to his shop where he worked until his back ached. But then, the town's economy shifted. Big construction firms replaced local talent. Clients disappeared. Liam's workshop grew quiet. By winter, there was barely enough to pay rent. He stopped buying coffee. He stopped heating the house during the day. Some nights, he gave up dinner entirely so his kids could eat a little more. Yet he never let them know. "I'm not hungry, sport," he'd say with a smile, even as his stomach growled. But then came the day. The day when everything crashed. The landlord came knocking. Final warning. If the rent wasn't paid by the weekend, they'd be evicted. Liam tried everything. He called old clients, visited neighbors, even offered to clean gutters, fix fences, anything. But jobs were scarce, and people were struggling themselves. That night, he sat by the cold fireplace, staring at his dusty toolbox. Each piece held memories. The chisel his dad had given him, the drill he'd used to build Rosie's crib, the measuring tape Melissa had wrapped as a Christmas gift years ago. But desperation has a cruel way of pushing even the proudest man to the edge. The next morning, Liam walked into the hardware store with a heavy heart and a cardboard box full of his tools. He approached Mr. Dawson, the store owner, an elderly man with a kind face. "I need to sell these," Liam said, voice barely above a whisper. Mr. Dawson looked inside, then at Liam. "These are good tools, son. Are you sure?" Liam nodded. "My kids need to eat." Without another word, Mr. Dawson opened the register and handed him $150, all he could spare. Liam thanked him with teary eyes, picked up a small bag of groceries, and left. He didn't notice the woman standing behind the shelf, a customer who had heard every word. Her name was Eva Monroe. Eva wasn't a local. She was in town visiting her brother and had stopped by the store for some paint. But what she heard that day clung to her heart. She followed Liam at a distance and saw him sit on a bench outside the grocery store, staring into the bag like it held gold. Then, something unimaginable happened. The next morning, Liam woke up to knocking. He opened the door and saw Mr. Dawson standing there with two other men, holding boxes. "What's this?" Liam asked. "Tools," Mr. Dawson smiled. "Better than the ones you had. Someone dropped off a note with enough money to cover your rent, and then some." Liam froze. "Who?" "No name. just said they believe in fathers who don't give up. There was more. As he stepped outside, he saw a flyer being posted around the town. Local dad and carpenter needs work. Help a family stand tall again. Within hours, calls started pouring in. People needed shelves fixed, doors repaired, even treehouses built. Liam's phone buzzed like never before. But the true miracle came days later. Eva returned, not just with a thank you, but with an offer. She ran a nonprofit that built tiny homes for veterans and low-income families. They were expanding, and they needed a full-time carpenter. The job came with a steady salary, benefits, and housing assistance. "We need someone with heart," she told him. "And I've never seen more of it than I saw in you, sitting alone with a bag of groceries." Liam was speechless. From that moment, life began to shift, not all at once, but slowly, beautifully. Ben and Rosie started school in better clothes, their cheeks round with laughter. The house felt warmer, not just from heat, but from hope. Liam even started teaching woodworking at a local youth center, passing on the skill that had once seemed like a dead end but became the very road to his family's revival. One snowy night, as he tucked in Rosie, she whispered, "Daddy, are we rich now?" Liam chuckled, brushing her hair aside. "Not in money, baby. But yes, we're rich in all the right ways." And that was the miracle. It wasn't the money. It wasn't the job. It was the world choosing kindness over silence. One woman listened. One store owner helped. One town rallied. And a father, who was ready to give up the last of his pride, found himself standing taller than ever. So if you ever doubt that small acts matter, remember Liam. Because sometimes, the miracle isn't a lightning bolt or a winning ticket, it's a stranger who believes in you when you've forgotten how to believe in yourself.